All right, here we are moving into Unit 2. And Unit 2 has somewhat of a unifying theme to it in that mostly it's about social processes, mostly. Uh, and so what we're going to do in this unit is we're going to, well, how about we'll just remind you that question, how should I study? Remember, I talked to you about this in Unit 1 introduction, which for me was like 5 minutes ago. So for you, a month and a half. Uh, so the SQ3R and survey, look over the headlines. You know what I mean, main headings, get an outline, get a idea, look at the topic assignment, get some questions you might want to be answering, read the materials, the assigned readings and the PowerPoints, maybe complete the topic assignments and make your flashcards. So, it works. It takes a lot of effort for sure. I mean, learning is not easy. So, right. So in the first topic for this unit, we're going to talk about the self, and this is where we're going to really kick in and learn about not just individualistic versus collectivistic cultures, but an independent versus an interdependent way of thinking. And it's fascinating because we all have these two different parts of ourselves, but people that come from individualistic cultures are much more likely to access their independent self, and people that come from collectivistic cultures are far more likely to access their interdependent self. And when you are accessing these different parts of ourselves, you see the world in radically different ways. In topic 7, we're going to talk about how even right from the beginning, even if we could do some kind of a mind psychological or thought experiment, take two human beings that are perfect clones and they have the exact same, and you raise one in one culture and raise one in another and see what you get. Okay, and so clearly what happens is the most important part the of development is the earliest years, right? Any journey, the most important part of the journey is the beginning, because that's where your journey starts going either north or east or south or west, okay? So the earliest stuff and how parents and child rearing and what do we call it? Parenting styles and attachment styles, just right from the beginning, they set the children up to be different. Then we'll talk about mental health, and clearly we'll have discussions about how some aspects of mental health we can talk about as universal. We might say anxiety is a universal thing. And what happens is each culture defines how or expresses that anxiety in different ways and explains the anxiety in different ways. Some cultures might explain anxiety in terms of ghosts and spirits, and some might explain it in terms of biological functioning. And the explanations for why you think the anxiety exists creates a radically different manifestation of symptomology, even if ultimately at its core, it's just anxiety. Okay. Then in the physical health topic, we'll start talking about how even our physical bodies can be changed based on the culture we live in. Partly cultural practices that modify bodies, but also health practices and considerations. Some cultures believe in daily bathing. Some cultures believe that if you bathe every single day, you're actually harming yourself, but because you're killing. And there's some interesting evidence for this that there's a part of your immune system is a coating on your skin, and it protects you from invaders. And by taking daily bathing, you're opening yourself wide up. Okay, so there's all kinds of ways that culture can affect our physical health. And then the last topic in this unit, we'll talk about relationships, okay? What does love mean? What is the basis of marriage? How do we interact with our children? What is a friend? And it turns out and what is attractive. And we're going to find that there's radically different ideas, even though, again, there's going to be some universal truths to what equals attractive or what equals friendship. There's going to have hugely different manifestations in different cultural contexts.